Two huge new contracts. So Jordan Love signed 4 years, $220 million. We talked about this one a little bit, but this makes him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. So a $75 million signing bonus and $155 million in new guarantees. But I just want to contrast that with Tua's contract that he got as well. 4 years, $212 million, $42 million signing bonus, $147 million in practical guarantees. How would you guys compare these contracts right now? Jordan Love, obviously only 1 year sample size and starting. We've seen Tua for multiple years, but multiple injuries before completing last year in its entirety. Which deal do you think is better, or do you hate both deals?
Well, I'm looking back at this quarterback draft class that had Joe Burrow and Tua and Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts, and all these guys are making huge money. I think a lot of it, and this is obvious, has to do with the market that's out there, right? To be competitive, you got to compete in the market. To make your guys feel comfortable, they have to feel like you're paying them a competitive salary against their peers and other people in the league. So I understand why they keep getting higher, but you have to look at each circumstance, and every circumstance is different. We talked about this last week. If you're the Packers, you have to do this because you gambled on Jordan Love being that guy. Right? All right, Aaron Rodgers, there we go. We'll move on from Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love is the heir apparent. He's bided his time. Then he comes out and makes your gamble look smart, makes your bet look smart. So what do when you have a smart bet that looks good and you have a chance to double down? You double down, right? If you're showing 11 in blackjack, hell, you double. The first part's taken care of. You may get a face, get 21, you can't lose. So I understand why the Packers did it. We can talk about the money, the amount of money, but that's just market value for a guy to feel comfortable that you are saying is our franchise moving forward at the most position, our important position, which is quarterback. Well, when you look at Tua showed you that he can make it through a year healthy, right? Now, do I trust him fully to stay healthy throughout an NFL season 2 years in a row? I don't, but I don't trust a lot of quarterbacks to stay healthy for 2 NFL seasons in a row. You look, Jalen Hurts has been beat up. Joe Burrow's obviously been beat up. It's hard to stay healthy as a quarterback, but I understand the Dolphins, Frankenstein this offense together. They're trying to go win glory now. This isn't hey, we'll sign Tua and then we'll let the next quarterback come in and all these other pieces will be great and they'll be ready to go win. No, they're trying to win right now. And as far as Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts has proven that he's a leader. Jalen Hurts has proven that, he does have the ability to run a certain style. Now we'll see, now that the league has kind of caught up to them a little bit, you still have some big pieces, but if that can maintain, I just feel like you have to do this, David, because this is the market now. And if you find your quarterback and you got your guy, you got to pay him something close to what, and did Deshaun Watson start this crazy mania? No, quarterbacks have been getting paid forever. He just kind of extended it. The ones I'm a little bit iffy on, right? Jordan Love's sample size. I can understand Blaine's argument. He doesn't trust him 100% yet, but you had to do it. It's like the Trevor Lawrences and the quarterbacks that have been on the periphery of being great. They're seeing some, obviously, undue influence or good money sent their way because of the market. I just don't know how you get out of this, right?
Will any of these teams regret these contracts?
I think the Packers will. I think Jordan Love won't have a better season than he did last year in his whole career. I think
in his whole career.
I don't think he'll have a better season. 32 touchdowns, 11.
So that's a worse deal than Tua, you think?
Yeah, I do, because when it comes to Tua, I know he's got injured, but he's proven it, and it's more. I think you overpaid for both. I think we can both all three of us sit up here and say you overpaid for both. I guess that's just a quarterback market, but you overpaid. I think Tua, I trust Tua more because I've seen Tua do it through college, win a natty. I've seen Tua, even with injured from an athletic standpoint, I've seen Tua. I know Tua has it. Right? I've seen it for multiple years. I know he's got it. I know he has elite receivers, but I've just seen it 1 year from Jordan. That's all I've seen. And I just don't know if it's going to get better. His receivers are young, has talent, but up front, the Packers didn't get any better. Like, there's certain things that I don't believe in Jordan Love to where you paid him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL for Jordan Love after one season. We say this about running backs all the time. Right? What's the difference between this running back getting money or getting shot down than Jordan Love the next year? If you trust this guy that much, Packers, that much that you're willing to pay him this amount of money for a year that's coming up where he's not going to do better than last year. What this year makes you think he's going to do better than last year?
Well, here's the thing. We can sit here and question some of the decisions, but what's the alternative? Like, the alternative is you don't pay him a good amount of money. Now he's upset. the deal doesn't get done, and he goes out and balls his ass off this year, and then you lose him because he was upset because you didn't pay him before. To me, then you have to really start all over. To me, that's a bigger risk than paying him. Because again, if you didn't pay him, now not only are you upsetting him, you're showing doubt after what he showed you last year, when that should be what binds his team together and shows Packer fans, hey, we're set for the future. We're doubling down on the bet we made because we feel like it was a good bet. And after last year, I don't know how you look at it and say, oh, well, the offensive line didn't get any better, but Jordan Love, they're not going to be much worse. They won't be much better, but Jordan Love's going to be worse than he was last year. I just don't see that.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think. I think you overpaid for Jordan Love.
Yeah, I guess there's a difference between like paying a guy a lot of money and then making everybody the highest paid player, right?
Jordan Love's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, for about 2 weeks till the next guy needs to get.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, and that's the main point, is that the current state right now, I mean, it wasn't that long ago before Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were the highest paid quarterbacks at $20 million a year. We're almost triple that right now, which I think is just a reflection of what a good state the NFL is in, right? Which I don't want to criticize that, and we're all free market guys. So if the market is driving the prices that high, I don't ever want to appear as someone who's like hating on guys for getting their money. At the same time, not everybody can be the best guy, right? Like, don't you want to see the best guy get paid the most amount of money? I will say Patrick Mahomes did come out and say, I'm not underpaid. Like, I don't have a problem with my contract. Stop trying to make me convinced that I'm underpaid right now. And that's the reflection. That says everything you need to know about back-to-back Super Bowl champs.
Jordan Love's
also, the Packers have bought up a lot of equity with the way they've handled their quarterback.
That's my thing. Again, like it's like with Alex Anthopoulos for the Braves. Like, bro, I trust you. Like, what people ask, what are the Braves going to do the trade deadline? What are the Braves going to do the trade deadline? Whatever Alex Anthopoulos wants to do, you show me who you are enough, I'm going to believe you. The man's made more nice moves than Patrick Swayze and John Travolta put together. I trust the Packers when it comes to quarterback because, again, didn't miss going from Brett to Aaron. So far, it looks like they hadn't missed going from Aaron to Jordan. And let's not forget, the two guys before them were Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So I'm not saying Jordan Love's going to be Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, but if there is a track record or somebody that I'm going to trust, if Little Debbie came up to me and said, you know what, I'm going to make you a little cake treat. I'm going to believe they're going to make a fire-ass cake treat. You want to know why? Because it's Little Debbie, and I see your track.
It's not just quarterback either. Offensive line is a big part of this.
Huge.
They built up equity with having great offensive lines for the past 30 years. Miami Dolphins, I mean, you got to go back to Don Shula.
Yeah.
The last time they had an offensive line quarterback combo that was lethal.
No, without a doubt. It's interesting to see. Speaking about interesting to see, Tom Luginbill is going to be on here literally in about 6 minutes. And then we're going to open the phone lines up at 2:45 p.m. Central, 1-855-236-3228. Let's get back to the chat.
All right, let's get to the chat. $5 donation from David. Appreciate it, David. I have always said there's no such thing as overpaid. Nothing drives me crazier than a clueless casuals parroting overpaid for every deal made. I believe getting overpaid is a real thing.
Well, I think... Again, when you look at what the market's going to be here 2 or 3 years down the road, like I think it all goes into the calculus. Yeah, you could say maybe could the Packers have gotten away with not paying him that much? Maybe, but I just don't think it's worth the headache of having to go and redo this thing over if Jordan Love continues to ball out. Then all of a sudden gets drowned by every other quarterback that gets a contract here in the market. I mean, nobody should be happier than any of these young quarterbacks that just got drafted this past year. You don't even have to be the best quarterback in the league, to your point, and you can be the highest paid quarterback in the league for at least a couple months.
After 9 good games.
Yeah, I mean, but
9 good games to be the highest paid quarterback.
What's the alternative?
Are we surprised this happens to everybody? I mean, coaches. I mean, you have one good year.
Doesn't happen to everybody. It happens to a lot of people.
You
in
win
sports.
8 games. Here's the vault. Here, take anything you want.
What's up, YouTube? If you thought the opening ceremonies of the Olympics were cool, please don't subscribe to this.